Hello, mister. We'll be right back. Whew, okay. You know when you balance the water and the oros, right? And then it's cold and it goes in. It goes in well. Hi guys, it's Kago and welcome back to my channel. So I want to start a new series on my channel called Lessons Learned. Now these Lessons Learned videos are going to be pretty much in the same WhatsApp group as my Pledge to 2019 video, which if you have not seen, go check it out. But basically we're just gonna sit like we're sitting right now and we're gonna chat about things that we've learned recently, and yeah. I mean, you'll get the hang of it as we go through it. I mean, it's really not that difficult, but I just thought I really enjoyed how the Pledge to 2019 video turned out and I really wanted to make more stuff like that. So here we are. In terms of when these videos are gonna drop, I don't know. They kind of happen as and when I feel like posting them, if I feel like I have something to say. I will update you on all my socials when something is gonna come through. In terms of the topic of each of these videos, I don't know either. I don't have a list written down somewhere. Again, it's as I learn them, as I experience them, as I go through them, I'll have a spark of inspiration and be like, oh my god, I really have to talk about that. And then we'll sit and we'll chat about it. But yeah, we're gonna let these become what they're meant to become. We're gonna let this series grow into what it needs to and hopefully help the people that it needs to. So yeah, that's pretty much all the admin. Sit down, get comfortable, grab a beverage. I recommend Oros, and let's get into this video. Okay, so the topic for today's Lesson Learned video is trust. Now there's trust in your friends and family, which I will talk about, but I think the most important person that you can put your trust in is yourself, because once you learn how to trust yourself, you know how to live. This topic of self-trust came to me while I was meditating, right? I was doing this kind of 7-day course on how to build a better relationship with yourself, and the first lesson was learning how to trust yourself. Now this can be as small as trusting that you know how to use a washing machine, or it can be as big as trusting in the decisions that you make that will later impact your future. Trust that you know what's best for you. Trust that you know what version of yourself you want to be and you want to take the steps to get there. But also trust that you can dream. Trust that you're not crazy for dreaming, and trust that you know or are willing to take the first few steps to get there. Now that kind of ties into letting yourself be a beginner, which I touched on in my Pledge to 2019 video, which if you have not seen, go check it out. I didn't go into too much detail about being a beginner in that first video, but it means different things for different people. But to sum up what it means for me, to be a beginner is giving yourself some elbow room, you know, some grace and some space to grow, wiggle, and stumble while you find your rhythm, right? And it's important to let yourself be a beginner without pressurizing yourself, which will come from comparing your day 1 to someone else's day 2005 and just having these unrealistic expectations for yourself. Now, I'm aware it is easier to sit here and say don't pressurize yourself than it is to actually stop pressurizing yourself, but it's important nonetheless, because a lot of the times the unrealistic expectations you put on yourself come from you. It's in your head, it's in your mind, and your mindset, let me tell you, can either be your greatest tool or your biggest obstacle. Like, there is no in between, and that then causes you not to achieve the things that you want to achieve, and that just makes you your own worst enemy. Sometimes you do the injustice of assuming you know what people are going to say or how they're going to react to certain goals that you want to set, or maybe certain problems that you might be having. But when you get out of your head long enough to actually speak to them about your problems, about the goals that you're setting, and actually ask them the questions that you're too afraid to ask, you'd be surprised how many people are in your corner. Like, there are really people out there who are not trying to get you. They want to see you succeed. They want to see you grow. And I say this from experience, man. And with that being said, all the people in my corner, you know who you are. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. This is for you. Now, all of this letting yourself be a beginner and convincing yourself that not everyone is out to get you comes from trusting your friends and your family. Trust that they want to see you succeed, that they really have your best interests at heart, but also to a certain extent, you gotta trust yourself, okay? Trust that you surround yourself with the right kind of people that will only push you forward and not pull you back. With family, you don't get too much of a say in that, but with friends, it's important, right? Because then you wouldn't be friends. There was something in that person that you saw that you were like, you know what, I want to hang around this soul because they make my soul happy and I think my soul can make them happy, and we'll just be like some happy people just, you know, rolling through life together, you know? So you need to trust your friends and family, right? You need to trust their opinions and their advice, but also more than anything, you need to trust your own opinion, okay? While your friends and family might be giving you advice, and most of the time this advice comes from a very good place, it should never veto your own vote. And this goes either way. They might be advising you to do something, or they might be advising you against something, but whatever you decide to do at the end, it should only be because you want to do it. That's what happened with me last year. I had to like step back from a lot of university conversations with my friends to check in with myself and like make sure that I'm not thinking of applying for a certain course or to a certain university because my friends are saying it, and like just making sure that whatever decision I make with that comes from me and me alone. We need to be able to trust our instinct, our intuition. You know that voice that comes from your stomach, like that says, oh my God, that's an amazing idea, before the voice in your head is like, you might die, kind of thing. Trust that voice in your stomach, because most of the time, like 95% of the time, that intuition is not out to get you. I think that voice knows where it's at. That voice knows what you gotta do. And I think it's important to listen to it every once in a while. While your head is important, I'm not saying go swimming in the Atlantic Ocean just because, you know, I'm not saying that. I'm saying take the risk every once in a while of forgetting your head and following your instinct. Because ultimately, I don't think your intuition is out to hurt you. If anything, I think it's out there to push you, like to go for things. And, you know, go for it. Listen to your intuition and go for it and see what the outcome is. And if you're disappointed by that outcome, then, oh well, lesson learned, it's all right. But basically, look, sometimes shit happens, okay? It's inevitable. It's part of life. It's going to happen. And it's important to let yourself grieve, right? But then pick yourself up and move forward. And remember that even if it was like a failed attempt, you are not a failure, right? Or never a failure, always a lesson, because you probably picked something up from that. You now know how to avoid certain situations. You know how to handle situations better. Like something good came out of the bad. Now, bringing it back to that meditation I was talking about in the beginning, they were saying that even though some of your decisions might lead you to be disappointed in the outcome, it's important to never lose faith in your judgment. You would have gained something from it either way, you know? It might not have been what you wanted, but it's a lesson. If you want my advice, I say rather say oh well than what if. Because what and if, oh my God. Go watch the first video, guys. This is like a full circle situation, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Now, I'm well aware that it's easier to sit here and tell you how to trust yourself than it is to actually go out there in real life situations and actually go, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. You know what? Like, I know it's easier said than done, but that's the point of these lesson learned videos, right? It's practice. It's consciously making the effort to put this into practice. Like any lesson that you go to, you never perfect the technique right away. You always got to go through it over and over and over and practice it, right? So that's what these kind of videos are. We're going to practice it until we get it right, until we perfect it, and then we're amazing people afterwards, right? So that's all I wanted to say for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you take something from it and you actually go out and practice these things. And I want to hear your stories. I want to hear your success stories, your failure stories. I want to hear them all. If you did put your hand up in class and you got the answer right that you thought you were going to fail, that is a victory. That is a success. And we salute you. I want to hear about that. You know, we're doing this together. That's what these things are. That's why I'm putting them in videos, and that's why we're sitting here and we're chatting, because this is like, you know, a relationship type of thing, and I'm super down for it. Let me know down below what other lessons you've learned recently, or if you have anything else that you want me to talk about. Yeah. Peace, love, and happiness. Until next time.